Can I clap? Maybe I'll lose something. Okay, I gotta be careful now. All right, well, here I am in the middle of fucking nowhere. I hope you guys can hear me good. Super fucking windy. I've put this fluffy thing on the mic, so I hope it does its job. So yeah, welcome back to, I think this is episode 5 of Project ZEN. I am at an undisclosed location, the south of Greece. I'm using my 360 camera, so it's gonna be pretty handy because I don't have to manually maneuver it to show you guys what I'm doing or where I am right now. This is all going to be a job for future Will. So yeah, as you can see, I am in the middle of nowhere on top of a fucking mountain like a goat. It took me approximately 1 hour and 44 minutes to get here. I have hiked around 6.10 kilometers. Yeah, I don't know how much that is in the non-metric system, so I'll leave it somewhere here on the screen for the non-metric viewers. But yeah, what am I doing here? Basically, I'm on vacation. I took a week off just to kind of disconnect from work and from everything. So I came to this peaceful place just to kind of gather my thoughts and continue working on Project ZEN because I still have a lot of things to do and it's been a while since I've done anything related to the project. I mean, I'm doing stuff obviously behind camera, but I'm kind of thinking about what should I film to show you guys so it doesn't get repetitive or boring. So I'm definitely not going to be uploading a video per song that I record. I've already done that 4 times. So I guess I thought about recording this to show you guys a little bit of what I'm doing. So while I'm, taking some time off and recording this, if future Will would be so kind to kind of do a 360 view starting from here, but actually in front of me, which will be behind you, if you turn around, that's where I'm staying, that hotel over there. And that over there is the great temple of Poseidon, or what's left of it. So yeah, I've hiked my way, down this road and then up this hill, I think, and then all the way, I think, over here, and then blah, 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 all the way. I try to take a shortcut because you see this road right here takes you to where I am, but this is someone's house and I found a dog. So I'm obviously trespassing, so I had to turn back and go around this mountain and up till, here and then make my way up to here. So yeah, now I have to head back and I'm heading back that way. And then I'm going around that way, so I'm gonna end up somewhere there and then back to the hotel over there. So I thought I will, on my way back, it would be nice to take you not only on this journey with me back to the hotel, but also on a time travel journey to how Deafness was created, a little bit of backstory on Deafness. I thought that would be nice to share with you. So yeah, I think we should start heading back. It's 7 p.m. I've got 1 hour and 46 minutes approximately of light. I don't think it's gonna take me that much, but just in case, let's get going. But first I gotta put this all away, so, because as you can see, it's pretty steep and it's pretty fucking windy. So I'll be with you in approximately 5 minutes, okay? I'm just gonna turn this off.
5 minutes later.
Okay, I hope this is picking up. So, where should I begin? Let's go back to 2006. 2006 was a weird year, was an interesting year. And not because of that theory that on June 6th, Satan or the devil would come out and say, okay, that's enough, and start, cooking all of us. It was interesting because it was the death and birth of a few bands, local bands in Barcelona. And that includes myself, the band I was in, and then what became Deafness. Beginning of 2006, I've been in this band called Yourself for 4 years now. And things are not going as well as we would like. Things were falling apart a little bit. I think by the beginning of the year, we lost who would be our third bass player. So if future me can find the last official picture that we took as a band, he'll leave it somewhere here on the screen. And in that picture, Jordy was the newest member of the band as a bass player. So there's Hector, myself, which I don't know what I'm looking at, Sergi, the percussionist. So it wasn't until April 06 where we had a gig, and unfortunately I got into a bit of a, not a fight, but like some sort of quarrel or discussion with the drummer when I got to our studio just to pack things up. And I remember that show not being the nicest one in terms of we didn't talk to each other basically for the rest of the day and for the rest of the show, which was pretty fucking uncomfortable. And that's where the last nail in the coffin was put, I suppose. Because I have been thinking for a while about quitting up till that moment, because I didn't feel like we were all heading in the same direction, and some of us were putting more energy than the others. I don't know, you know when that band, you know that moment where the band just, you can feel that it just falls apart? Have been going on since practically the beginning of 06, right? And I think it had to do at some point with losing our third bass player, at least for me, right? I don't know, it was weird, you know, 06 started pretty weird. Hold on, let me see, am I going right? This is dangerous because I'm just talking my ass off and I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing. Did I do this? What the fuck? I did not do this. Yeah, I did it. Anyways, when I think about that show, was that it was the end of something and the beginning of something else. And I'll tell you why. Because out of all the people who were there was one particular person who, for some reason that I do not know right now and do not know, cannot remember, was there filming the show, and that person was Mark. Mark would become one of the guitar players of Deafness, right? So I want to believe that that day was the start of a new connection / relationship with at least some members of yourself. So that happens, finish the show. I don't know how much time it passed after that, but I went up to the guys and said, I'm quitting, I'm sorry, but that's it for me. I want to take a break. And that's it. That's basically how my journey with the first band that I joined back in 02 when I moved from Egypt to Barcelona ended. So a couple of months go by, and May, June, and I'm going nuts. I am fucking losing it. I want to make music so bad. Around that time, there's another band that had been going on for quite a while, like since 98 or 97 even, I can't remember, who were from outside Barcelona, very good friends of mine, that we actually became a band after that. That's why I said at the beginning that 2006 was the end of some bands and the birth of other bands. Funny enough, it would be all in the family, so to say, right? But yeah, so summer goes by and I'm going crazy. I'm hanging out because I want to do music, right? So I start getting involved in whatever music I can make. You know, I even become friends with some kids with which I used to hang out. I even joined them as a drummer at some point. That part is really non-existent almost in my memory files, but I did become a drummer at some point during that summer of 06. So summer of 06 goes through, and here comes, I don't know, September, October, I can't remember the day, I can't remember the month, but around comes Hector and calls me up and says, hey, it's been a while, are you up to anything? Can't remember the exact conversation, right? But it was something along these lines. Are you up to anything? I was like, no, I'm chilling. What about you? And he said, hey, I put up a band, and we're wondering if you want to join. And I said, who's we? And he said, well, it's me, it's Jordy. Remember Jordy? And I said, yeah, the last bass player that we had in yourself. And remember Mark? And I said, no, I don't remember Mark. It's like the guy with the tiger pattern tattoos in his arms, with the long curly blonde hair that looks like a surfer, who came to the last show and recorded us. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. It's like, well, it's them two and myself and we're working on this new project, and we want you in as a singer. I was like, okay, who's a drummer? And he said, we don't have one, but if you want to, we can either program the drums or you can help us with that as well. And I'm like, okay, let's do this. You know, I asked those questions, and as I was asking them, I was already saying yes in my head, right? I just wanted to know a little bit more. So I said yes, and we meet up for the first time. And that was it. That was basically how Deafness was made, or came, the first version of Deafness, if you will, right? Again, here's a picture of us four right at the beginning. They have been working on a couple of songs for a bit, but they were demo songs that Mark had done a long time ago. So he wanted to recycle them somehow. I sat down on drums, and there was a really small drum kit in this rehearsal space. Just a kick, a rack tom, a floor tom, snare, a hi-hat, and one crash. And that's what I used to play the drums, right? So I think the first 4 songs that we made were done in a matter of almost 4 weeks, like one song per week almost. That's how good everything was flowing. We reworked some songs that were demo songs that Mark had composed, had written, and then we created a couple more. And then we somehow, you know, during 2006, going into 07, we get our dear friend Sergi on board to play the percussion. We kept on creating music and writing songs. First human being I encountered in 2 hours and 20 minutes. And then the only thing that I do not recall is when Manu, the drummer, joined. But again, I think, you know, due to the very specific and short lifespan of Deafness, again, it should have been around, you know, mid 2007 or something like that. And that's it. That was the official birth, or the official completion of Deafness. I abandoned my drummer duties as soon as he joined, and I focused on singing, and the rest is history. We kind of recorded 2 songs, the first being Princess and the second being Euphoria. I'm not sure about the order though, but we did record those 2 as in, let's show to the world that we exist, right? So those were the 2 singles. So yeah, we did our shows. We started doing our shows throughout the remaining of 07. I'll leave a few clips here. Oh no, I gotta go up? The fuck? So I have to go back momentarily because, again, after I joined Deafness, again, end of 06, I joined another band, and that band was called Null, so it's N-U-L-L, and that was pure scream. I mean, it was kind of experimental thrash metal, so I called it, what if Meshuggah and Sepultura had a baby? And when I say Sepultura, well, more than Sepultura, maybe Slayer. I mean, it had some Sepultura things here and there, early Sepultura days, but maybe it was more like Slayer. What if Meshuggah and Slayer fucked and had a baby? That would be Null. So by the time 2007 hit, I was in 2 bands. And that was the first time ever in my life that I was in 2 bands at the same time, doing the same thing, actually being a vocalist. So everything that I had to do double, right? So sing or scream, double the lyrics, double the vocal lines, whatever, right? I had everything balanced. I remember saying that a couple of times, like Deafness was like my Deftones and Null was my Meshuggah, right? So it was complete opposites, but in perfect balance. That balance starting to go to shit by the beginning of 2008, or maybe mid 2008, I can't remember. When, again, I would see that with Null, we were heading a clear path in terms of, you know, writing a record and recording and playing shows or whatever. And with Deafness, we started to lose a little bit of that journey or that goal that we wanted, right? I think at some point Mark was going through some personal stuff. I think he was thinking about moving to LA, which he eventually did. But he stayed, you know, he kind of wanted to wrap the whole thing before he would eventually leave. But I saw that, and for me, in my head, it was like, well, you're gonna leave, so what are we doing, right? For me, it was about, again, balance, right? We weren't aligned on the commitments, you know, and to me, it was a matter of, okay, so where is my focus going now, or where's my energy going, right? Is it going, or where does it have to go? So I think I left Deafness by the end of '08, I think, to fully concentrate on Null. That would be the end of my run with Deafness. I know from later talking to the guys that they continued finishing the record that we were working on. They even got another vocalist. So yeah, they tried to move on, and apparently, well, it didn't work out. So Deafness just kind of died silently. So yeah, that was the story of Deafness, the beginning, the action, and the death of Deafness. Up until around 4 years ago, Mark came around and laid this idea that he would like to finish the record. He had been thinking about it, and he wanted to ask me if I wanted to finish the vocals, and he would take care of the mix and just finishing it. And yeah, I said yeah. And the funny thing is that when he approached me with that idea, he said, "Hey, I want us to do this as a present as well for the rest of the guys, right? So don't tell them anything. I won't tell them anything. This is between you and me. Let's give them the surprise when it's finished, right?" And I'm like, sure. I like the idea, and I say, yeah, let's do it. We set up the whole thing and sent me the instrumentals. I think 2 days later, not more. Hector calls me up and tells me, "Hey man, I've been talking with the boys. We were talking about asking you to put vocals to finish the vocals on the songs and finish the record, and then we were thinking about asking Mark to mix the whole thing and finish it as well." And I was like, while he was telling me that, is this a fucking joke? Where's the hidden camera? Like there's no fucking way that 48 hours before this conversation, I was having the same conversation with Mark, right? So this must be a joke. But I said nothing. So I was like, I didn't know what to do. So we were talking, and I was texting Mark at the same time. I texted him, "Houston, we have a problem." I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I would love to do it. Sounds good. So I played the dumb part, and then I hang up with Hector, and I continue talking with Mark, and I was like, yo, you cannot believe what just happened. And I told him the whole thing, and he's like, oh, come on. So at the end of the day, what we did basically is unveil the whole thing. We did a common WhatsApp group, and we kind of confessed to the guys that we were already in the talks about that. We did a call all together sometime after that, just to discuss the whole thing and kind of gather around. It was a nice call. And then from there, I started working on the songs, and then, you know, the sea virus came along, fucked up everything. It fucked up my mood. It fucked up my brain. Throughout these 4 years, I kept telling the guys that, hey, I'm not feeling it. I lost it in terms of, you know, recording and even writing new lyrics, because I had reused most of the lyrics that I had written for my solo record or the subsequent bands that I joined. Yeah, so those 4 years went by, different reasons, not finding the passion or finding the motivation to do it or to pick it up again, until, you know, beginning of this year, where I found it again, and here I am. Hopefully I don't lose it again. It's tough sometimes. Like I mentioned a couple of times in the previous videos, that, you know, there's some places that I do not want to go back to in terms of lyrics or in terms of, you know, moments in my mind. But, you know, I really want to finish this for everyone, for myself, for the guys. So yeah, that was episode 5. We traveled back in time a few years. I have been hiking for approximately 3 hours now. I got about 40 minutes left of light. I think I'll be ending the episode here. Yeah, it has been nice. My arm is hurting a lot from holding the fucking stick. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it was a little bit different. You joined me in the sightseeing of South Greece. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you hopefully in the next one. Ah, fuck. I really hope this fucking thing did its job in terms of wind, because if I extract the audio of this and it's I'm gonna be so fucking pissed off. How do I stop this? Oh, hold on.